The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign, trusted by over 500 NFL players for their winning smiles. And broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your host, Nicole Hutchison.
Welcome into Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign in the SWBC studio. I'm Nicole Hutchison alongside Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison. Ladies, what's up?
Good morning.
Wake up! How y'all doing?
Wonderful. We good.
Yeah? Sure?
I think.
Yeah. Looking like that when we start.
I think so too.
What I be looking like?
I don't know.
Lost?
It's okay.
The Lasso Raven having a vision.
That's her. She got that spirit.
She's got it knocked
You
down.
gotta sell it, right?
Not sell it.
All right. Wake up! We don't have enough energy for me. I don't like it.
We awake.
Let's try it again.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Sister, we're awake.
Hey, we got a packed show
8:01.
today.
Give me
Y'all ready?
Give me a second.
We need 8 o'clock. We need
that's
the energy.
crazy work.
Thanks, girls. All right, well, we got a packed show today. We've got Bringing the Receipts with Bree coming up later in the show. We got Aisha's Insights.
You like that?
I like that.
A little
Isn't that
time to
great?
think of.
It's going to be every Thursday.
Yes.
Make sure to tune in.
Yeah.
We have Aisha's Insights coming up in the next part of our show. Are y'all ready for this?
Dun, 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 dun,
Always.
dun,
Stay
dun,
ready.
dun, 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 dun,
But
dun, 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 dun. You said, are
There's
y'all
no
ready?
copyright issue with that.
copyright.
There's no copyright.
We need you to
issue
do better.
That's not a real song.
Ain't it like a cutoff?
I bet.
That was up. It's okay. I like the energy. We're back.
It's all right. Here it goes. But to start the show, we have a local reporter that covers the Washington Commanders, James Kattato, that is joining the show with us. Thank you so much, James, for hopping on. Bree, for putting this together. How's it going out there?
Well, first of all, I got to say, I love the energy of just get up, wake up, right out the gate. Right out the gate. I love it. Because I'm waking up too.
I love it.
Right.
Love it.
Got everybody up early.
We got to
Let's
make sure
go.
everybody's up, like 8 a.m. We got to bring some sort of energy. Right. All right, well, I'm just going to, cut straight to it. Obviously, the Commanders have been without Terry McLaurin, and he was limited in practice yesterday. Do you know what the expectations are for him? Can we expect to see him on Sunday against the Cowboys?
Yeah, bottom line, Dan Quinn told the media yesterday that he's hopeful. You want to see 17 out there connected with Jaden Daniels, obviously, if you're a Commanders fan. And for the game, you want the best possible game out there. And considering the Cowboys might have CeeDee back, you want the best receiver for the Commanders lining up on the other side of the field. So I think that, yes, while having Terry back would be massive and Dan Quinn is practicing him and he's hopeful that he's going to be back, I think it's the depth of the wide receiver room that I'm more so concerned about when it comes to the Commanders, because I think Terry's going to play on Sunday, but Noah Brown just hit the IR, and he's already been out for the past 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's going to miss a combined 8 weeks of time for something that probably could have been placed on the IR weeks ago. You're leaning on second-year wide receiver Luke McCaffrey, first-year wide receiver Jalen Lane. Deebo Samuel didn't practice yesterday. So, it's like the wide receiver room for Washington is really banged up right now. If you get Terry back, that's obviously a plus, massive plus. But the depth of the wide receiver room, that's my biggest concern right now going into Sunday.
I'm glad you brought that up because, Deebo obviously is making some noise, but I know he's dealing with the injury. And it kind of seems like they might have rushed him out there a little bit before he was ready. Because if I'm not mistaken, the broadcast had him kind of getting taped up in between certain spots of the game. So is he kind of looking like he's taking a step back health-wise?
Yeah, listen, Deebo, it's no secret that Deebo is no spring chicken in this game, right? And I think the same can be said for Terry McLaurin and his timeline when he got off of his contract dispute. When I got to training camp, Terry wasn't there. He was nowhere to be found. And then it ended up being a month after training camp that Terry ended up actually practicing with the team. So you have a lot of these guys that are not super, I don't want to say athletically fit with the team yet, but it's like, yeah, we're 6 weeks into the season. but we're kind of only 6 weeks into the season with some of these guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, a great example on the defensive side of the ball, Dorrance Armstrong leads the team in sacks this season, and he went off the sideline twice in the Bears game. He did not practice on Wednesday either. You know, so it's like, I don't know. I think that this Commanders team right now is really banged up. Debo, again, not super young anymore. So I think he's just one of many.
Yeah, that's fair. It seems like those are the three to watch for the big ones, McLaurin, Debo, and Armstrong going into it. Because all the other guys that I saw on the list kind of just seems like a veteran rest need an extra day to ramp up. Because it seems like Thursday is your guys' big day too, right, James, when it comes to practice?
Yeah, Thursday's a big day. That's normally when Quinn will talk to the media one last time, just to kind of like, you know, give a final injury report. So we'll know a lot more today, even than we did yesterday. I would imagine we get a final call or close to a final call on what Terry's status is. Yeah, I mean, I think at the very minimum, even if you don't have Dorrance Armstrong, you're really just hoping at a bare minimum that you get Terry McLaurin. But I do have to say, just really quickly, that, you know, Jaden Daniels after the Bears game was like overly impressed with Luke McCaffrey in particular. I hope that he gets more targets against Dallas, because he only had one target against against Chicago, and it turned into a 33-yard touchdown. He said he was really impressed with McCaffrey. Jalen Lane is a really, really dangerous special teams and kind of like slot threat for the Commanders. So if it comes down where they have to trust their younger guys, I don't hate it, but obviously you want your big guys out there.
Yeah. Also, too, hi, James. Sounds like
What up?
it sounds like there's been some rotational things kind of going on at that right guard spot. I know Cosme is like y'all's big dog over there, but if I'm not mistaken, he had a knee injury versus the Bears.
Yes.
Has he been placed on PUP?
Well, Cosme has been one of those guys that you feel really bad for.
Yeah.
Right? Because he has had, maybe if you're not a Dallas fan, if you're a Commanders fan, you feel really bad for Sam Cosme. Just based off the fact that he has worked a lot to get back with the team in the off season. He tore his ACL. I believe he tore his ACL in the playoffs last year, and that put him out for a really extended period of time. Now, in terms of their injury report ahead of the Dallas Cowboys, he is not he's on as a full participant in practice as of Wednesday.
Awesome.
So I would say perhaps expect him. That would be obviously a massive boost to Washington's offensive line. Now, granted, if they don't have him, I'm not necessarily worried because of Dallas's defense and what they may or may not bring in terms of threatening the Commanders' offensive line. Because, I mean, we'll call a spade. You know, Dallas's defense is not.
You ain't gonna hurt our feelings.
You know, right?
Screaming.
I mean, so Dallas's defense is not that great this year. And so I wouldn't be super worried even if we didn't have Cosme rolling into the Cowboys game. And it also helps when you have a mobile quarterback. But, yeah, as of right now, Cosme was a full participant in practice.
John Keim, or Keim? Is it Keim or Keim?
John Keim, yeah.
John Keim. I saw he tweeted out that Zach Ertz said after the loss the other night that the players are pissed off. Is that the sentiment that you're getting? Don't nobody got time for that over here. So are you getting the sentiment that, you know, those guys are really disappointed in that loss on Monday and that they're really trying to bounce back on a short week?
Yeah, I mean, you heard it from Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. I mean, listen, the facts are the facts of you're one probably tighter grip on the football from Jaden Daniels away from being 4-2 and tied for the top spot in the NFC East. And now you're 3-3 instead. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt was very candid and said afterwards in the locker room that it sucked. Bobby Wagner was very candid in the locker room afterwards. Zach Ertz, like you said the guys are pissed off. You know, this is an interesting team that's mixed with veterans and younger players. And so the veterans, this is why you really love the fact that the Commanders are, quote unquote, one of the older teams in the league, because you have those Zach Ertz, those Bobby Wagners that are very good at, I guess, controlling the locker room a little bit, right? And kind of keeping a level head for guys that are in their first year in the league, like a Ja'Cory, Bill, Krosky, Merritt. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, listen, this is the team that went to the NFC Championship game last year, and for all intents and purposes has very similar pieces to that NFC Championship run. There is no reason why they should be 3-3. They should be 4-2, because they should not have lost that game to Chicago, straight up. Mm-hmm. This is also a must-win game for the Washington Commanders, because their schedule after Dallas is a gauntlet. So you have Dallas on the road, then the week after you have Kansas City on the road, which you could argue is the toughest place to play in the NFL, and Kansas City is getting Rashee Rice back, and then you have Seattle at home. I mean, it's just like and then you have Detroit at home. It's a gauntlet of a schedule. So the Commanders have to play pissed off. They have to win this game. It's a must-win game. So I don't mind Zach Ertz saying that the guys are pissed off, because they got to win this game.
You know what? You sound just like us.
I was about to say, insert Spider-Man meme.
Literally just like us, because the Cowboys could have been in a whole different position as well if they would have just got the job done against the Panthers last week. Could have been possibly first as well in the NFC East, second in the NFC East. But one thing that stands out to me is a stat that I saw on Next Gen. Shout out to them. The Commanders have generated pressure with an unblocked pass rusher on 11.1% of their opponents' dropbacks this season. That's the second highest rate in the NFL. But we've got a guy, in Dak Prescott, who's one of the best against pressure. What concerns you the most about the way Dak is playing right now?
Everything.
I love it. Hey, you're honest. We love it.
Dak is an MVP candidate right now, and for anybody that says he's not is hating. I mean, he's the one thing that I will say, is the Commanders, when they get inside pressure, so when they get Javon Kinlaw and Daron Payne in on the inside on the quarterback, they are very dangerous. Mm-hmm. So I mean, but then again, you have a quarterback in Dak who is just lighting up the scoreboard. This is the best offense in the NFL right now. Adding their number one receiver back, their number two receiver is playing like a number one receiver right now. So it's like, I think that especially with the Commanders secondary, I would be a little weary. That scares me a lot. However, I would say this. So the Commanders, their secondary in particular, and their defense has been the slow starter of the two. Their offense, while they have not necessarily scored touchdowns every single opening drive that they've played this season, they've gotten the ball down the field. Daniels can win in a shootout. We've seen that from him. So I'm not necessarily worried. If it's a game where the scoreboard is just going up, I don't mind that, because Jaden Daniels can respond to that. This is also the first time that Jaden Daniels is playing Dak Prescott.
Yes.
So we'll kind of see what happens. I think he's good at stepping up to a challenge, but I saw a stat, and the Commanders' defense has to get better, because they've given up 39 points through 6 games on the first 2 drives of each game. So
you just taking my rundown.
I'm taking your rundown.
You just taking my.
I'm taking your rundown.
No, you talking that stuff. That's
we need it.
You feel me though?
Yeah, I
do. This is a Dallas team that puts up almost 400 yards of total offense per game. So it's like, and the Commanders have a bad passing defense. They've been pretty porous. Yeah, so it's like you need to get off to a better start. You need to give Jaden an opportunity. Now, granted, the offense in Washington did you no favors in the Chicago game. They had 3 turnovers. Fair. Those 3 turnovers in that single game against Chicago tied the first 5 games worth of turnovers that the offense had all season. Mm-hmm. So it's like they're not doing you any favors. You have to win the turnover margin if you're going to beat Dallas. So, but the defense has to get off to a strong start.
Sound like a shootout coming.
You ain't lying.
I was singing it in my head.
Here we go.
Hey.
Let's get it done in regulation, though. I don't have time for those.
Right.
I really don't. I don't like
James, thank you.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you so
Appreciate
much. Are you going to be out here? Maybe not.
I will not be in Jerry World. I got to cover some big college football that's happening in our market this weekend.
It's all right. It's all right. Trust me. I know the feeling. Well, have a great weekend. We appreciate you for hopping on. You had some good stuff for us. So thank you so much, Bree, as well, for putting this together.
Nice. Good to hear from you, James.
Yeah, appreciate you, Bree. Appreciate you, everybody.
Appreciate you. Have a great day and wake up. I just had to do it.
Wake up. Thank y'all.
All right, ladies, we're going to take our first break here on Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign, and get into some film. Let's go on our next segment. We got Bringing the Receipts with Bree. Later in the show. All right, we're going to be right back. We're going to take our first break.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for us. If the men in your life bleed blue and silver like we do, I've found the perfect way to elevate their game day rituals. Gillette just released their best razor in Cowboys colors, and it is everything a Cowboys fan could want. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor combines his Cowboys pride with Gillette's best shave. And with 50% longer lasting blades, it is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's best shave is also available as heated.
Cowboys Nation, head to Miller Lighthouse at AT&T Stadium for a free watch party presented by 7-Eleven. Watch the Dallas Cowboys face off against the Broncos in Denver on Sunday, October 26th. Doors open at 2 p.m. and kickoff is at 3:25. Enjoy a performance by the DCC, Slurpee samples, $5 Miller Lights, and more. Claim your free ticket at dallascowboys.com/watchparty.
What?
Welcome back into Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. Nicole Hutchison, Brianna Aldridge, and Aisha Morrison. And ladies, wake up!
We up.
Are you sure?
We're here.
Yes. We's up.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't feel it.
She's so, oh my God, she's so judgmental. You're not awake enough for me.
I don't see it. It's okay. All right, ladies, it's time for some Aisha's insights on the Washington Commanders.
I didn't know
defense. I'm sorry. I just felt like I needed to be dramatic.
Well,
are you ready for this?
yes, ma'am. You have a familiar person running that defense over there in a Joe Witt Jr. And let me tell you, the people are not happy with him right now. The one thing about this game that, you know, stands out to me just initially, just looking into the matchup, is that Dak is very familiar with this defense that they run because you ran it for millions, zillions of years.
Yep.
And that this defense is also very predicated on getting turnovers and getting pressure with that front seven. The Commanders are able to get pressure with their front four more than almost any other defense in the NFL right now. However, we just heard James talk about the loss or, you know, the uncertainty regarding Dorrance Armstrong, and don't look now. He is their premier pass rusher. 5.5 sacks on the year. You could say 6 because I'm sure he's pissed they gave that half one to somebody else. He's top 3 in run stops, top 3 in pressures. I mean, just an efficient year for him. But him being out is huge for them, because you also have Von Miller on the other side, 3.5 sacks. But again, he's a little long in the tooth. Yep. You have Deron Payne, Javon Kinlaw in the middle. And let me tell you something. The Bears didn't want nothing to do with the interior. So what they did was attack their perimeter and attack these edges outside of Von Miller and obviously Dorrance Armstrong not being there, and that was something that really worked for them this past game. Also, too, you get to the second level, my lord, Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu, when they line up in that big nickel, and that's what we saw here in Dallas, is that when they go into that smaller lineup, man, Chicago caught them in those lineups multiple times and were able to run the ball on them with DeAndre Swift and really attack the perimeter. A lot of those outside zone runs were effective for them. Dallas has the ability to. We heard Javonte Williams yesterday talk about the fact that they weren't physical enough. I expect for him to come out and really want to put his shoulder in somebody's chest. And Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu have struggled when guards are getting up to the second level on them. I believe that Tyler Booker coming back is going to be huge for you. This Russian defense, this defense in general for the Commanders, they are 23rd in yards per game with 235 yards per play, 7. They're giving up 7 yards a play. They're 27th. This Russian defense is also this Russian defense is better than what it was last year, but they are still struggling in certain areas. They also are very susceptible to explosive plays, which we're going to get to that on the back end. The nickel cornerback, Mike Sainristil, I studied him coming out the draft. This is a guy that I thought could play, but he is struggling in that slot position. He's given up a lot of yardage. He has 21 open targets given up at that position. Marshawn Lattimore is not running the same. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to be nice.
They're coming for him, too.
He's struggling to run the same. And so Dallas, I do believe, will have the opportunity to take advantage of the things they have going on the back end. And also, too, attacking the perimeter and those linebackers, when they decide to line up in that nickel, they're susceptible there. And I expect for Dallas to try to take advantage there. Another thing, too, is that the Cowboys, the Cowboys defense and the Cowboys offense. The offense has been very fantastic on third down. They've struggled there in the last couple weeks. Dallas has to be more efficient there and be able to stay on the field. So my 3 keys to the game, y'all, are attack their secondary early. We heard James talk about the fact that they have given up points on the first drive of plays, and it's tapered off. So it started off at the beginning of the season, y'all. They were forcing 3-and-outs and forcing punts, and then as the season's going on, if they gotten a little bit more banged up, they have not been able to get offenses off the field as much. I would attack their secondary early with my tight ends, with some of the crossers, with Turpin if he's able to do some of those things, and also if you get CeeDee Lamb back and George Pickens, my Lord. Yep. This is really going to stress that secondary that they have. Also, too, when on third down. Again, this is a Washington defense that has struggled on third down. How do you continue to stay on the field and keep your defense on the sideline? You have to win on third down. And again, attack the perimeter when they are in that big nickel. I really want to see these tackles getting up on these linebackers just like Chicago did, because Chicago worked them in the run game with DeAndre Swift. I think that Dallas has the ability to do that. So, that's really the gist of it. They will bring Frankie Louvu up the A-gap and B-gap in some blitzing situations. I heard you mentioned yesterday, Bree, and James mentioned some of the simulated pressures where they show that they're blitzing and then they drop guys into coverage. I think Dak will be able to read some of that stuff well. I know he has struggled with that sometimes, though. Even in camp, I've seen him have some issues with that. I hope that he's able to diagnose at the line of scrimmage and get the guys in the right spots. But there are a lot of spots where Dallas can take advantage of this defense, avoid that interior that's really strong if you can. I think that Booker, what is this gentleman's name? Why am I forgetting?
Tyler
Smith
Diane.
and no. Who is our center?
One of the Tylers.
Brock Hoffman.
Hoffman. My lord. I'm sorry, Brock.
It's fine.
Brock Hoffman, they're gonna have their hands full. They're going up against another really good defensive interior. The last 3 weeks, they have, last week they had their hands full, with the Browns and Ashawn Robinson. This is another good defensive front in the interior that can take advantage of you if you don't protect well. So yes, that's the gist of it, y'all. It is space and opportunity on the back end, some space and opportunity in the run game. Dallas just has to be efficient, but I think that they can score points on this defense.
Yeah. I want to. I want to start with the trenches first. When you look at Cowboys' offensive line and this Commanders' defensive line, what matchups do you feel like favor the Cowboys most?
The offensive line and defensive
line. Cowboys' offensive line, Commanders' defensive line.
I would say,
like, individually.
Well, given what I saw Darnell Wright do in the run game, a lot of his temperament and stuff is very similar to Terrence Steele. I think that Terrence Steele can have a good day on the ground. If they decide to go and get out on the perimeter, these tight ends are going to have to wear their hard hats and come, block on the outside. But I think Terrence Steele, I'm not afraid of him with that matchup with Von Miller. I know that Von Miller is still Von Miller, and we have to be respectful of him. But I think some of the things that Terrence Steele struggles with, Von Miller is not as good at it anymore. Some of the bend, some of the speed, he's more powerful. So I think that might cancel out, especially if he's able to, if Dallas and Schottenheimer are able to get the run game going. I think that these tackles should be able to get out in space and do some things.
And something that we didn't talk about yet, Cowboys are healthy, y'all. Everybody practiced yesterday in some capacity for the first time since.
Amen.
Okay, so we just heard James list off all the injuries they got going on both sides of the ball. So I think if you do see, it's not official yet if Booker's back in there, but I think that's huge for this game, right? Because I think you saw starting to see some of that drop off last week, 100%. I know continuity is a huge thing, but the coaches are going to say this person can go in and fill in for a starter, but we see what we see. There's a reason why you have a BB there instead of Hoffman. There's a reason why that you have a Booker there, right? Not to discredit anything that's going on, but I think that makes me more confident. And one thing that I read, and James mentioned it about the whole team being a little more older, but defensively, they were like one of the oldest, if not the oldest, on defensive side of the ball. And I'm glad you brought up Von Miller because I've actually covered him twice, and once in Denver and then in Buffalo. And when he got to Buffalo after that injury, he just hasn't been the same. He got back, and then we just saw absolutely nothing. He was a ghost town. And then his final year, he started to pick up. And I remember talking to one of the coaches there, and they were like, even though, to your point, Aisha, it's not the same guy that we brought in here 2.5 years ago, but I'd still rather have him here than the next guy because he's still going to give me above average of who I get off the street. So to your point, but if you do watch him, he is a little half tick slower to get to where he needs to be, if that is. But when I look at this defense all together, though, it's going to be the secondary where they're just going to eat. If CeeDee Lamb is back, and any Commanders fan, any analyst on that side is going to tell you that that's where they're feared for the most. But obviously it does start up front. But, I'm so excited to see what they do and eat up the secondary because they are struggling very much so.
Yeah, you mentioned the age of the defense. Well, I would say that their youngest player, Trey Amos, their rookie, might be the best player they have in that secondary. My Lord.
Yeah.
So, and to people's standards, Frankie Louvu is someone that I mean, he really popped off the screen the last couple of years, and the blitzing ability and just the speed, but he's in more of an elevated role. And I think that, some of that has changed some of his effectiveness, again, like as a blitzer, and they have him, playing the linebacker position in that nickel spot. And I'm telling you, y'all, the way that Chicago was able to get up on their linebackers, I really believe Dallas should be able to do this, but they got to be clean. Because these guys are, Louvu is someone that can slip through tackles and to still get upfield. So I'm looking for Dallas to really be physical this game, because I think they can obviously take advantage of, the passing stuff. But in order to run the clock to not have this offense for the Commanders that can score, that can run the ball on the field, Dallas is going to have to establish a run game. They struggled with that last week. How do they bounce back and try to do some of the things that Chicago did last week? Yeah. Well, on Monday.
Love it. All right, let's go to the secondary. What matchups do you think favor the Cowboys?
My Lord. Honestly, if we're being real, like, I'm not trying to be funny, mostly all of them.
They're all struggling. And you mentioned Marshawn Lattimore. He's a little bit like, he's very hot or cold. Like, there's no in between with him this season, at least with his second year. My biggest note is just he's very inconsistent, and he will give up the big play. They all will, to Aisha's point.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge with CeeDee coming back, and it really does sound like he's trying to come back. I'm excited to actually hear from him later this afternoon. But even KaVontae Turpin, him coming back, we're talking about an older defense. Well, when you get older, you get slower. I think speed is going to be the key, and KaVontae Turpin coming back, I think, is huge for this game. And I know it's been a little silent in the running back room for a rookie running back, Jaden Blue, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets some fantasy points to some people this week, because I think speed is going to kill the Commanders' defense.
Yeah. You also mentioned, I think a very important thing to talk about as well is their blitz rate and their pressure rate and some of the things they do. Talking about the running backs, Bree, you just mentioned Jaden Blue. If he's out there, the blitz pickups better be picking ups. You know what I'm saying? Javonte Williams also, too. These guys have to be aware. This offensive line has to be aware in communication with the way that the Commanders are. And especially, too, y'all, if Dorrance Armstrong's not out there and these guys don't feel like they can generate pressure at the same clip with just rushing forward, expect for them to blitz. And Dallas has to. I'm not worried about the quarterback, but I am hopefully making sure that guys are communicating in these pickups, that they've been reading their keys, that their communication to this offensive line that's getting healthy, like you said, Bree, that, that continuity continues even though they're coming together after some of them not being on the field for a little bit.
Yeah, offensively for the Cowboys, this is everything that you could ask for going into this matchup. I know nobody says must-win game in Week 7. James did for his team. It's in our heads, right? Like, this is huge. I asked some guys in the locker room yesterday, and they admittedly, this one does bring anytime you're going against a divisional opponent, you're going to have a little more juice. But because of where this could place us after this week, if we get it, like, we understand the assignment, basically.
No, this is a big game.
Yeah, both teams, as he said, guys in the locker room saying that they were pissed off. You had guys in the Cowboys locker room as well in post-game talking about they were pissed off. So we're going to get two pissed off teams facing off against each other on Sunday.
Yeah.
I guess,
love it.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I like it. I like it. Get mad. They don't get mad enough for me right now.
It's a division.
I need to see more.
Dallas needs this win because of the NFC standings as well. You've lost to two NFC teams. You don't have the room to drop. And then also, too, you could really, in some sense, somebody's getting buried after this game. You hear me? Whoever loses this game,
that's fair.
I really wholeheartedly believe playoff implications and anything that you're looking for in the future, this is when you would start making some decisions on how, do you need to go attack at the trade deadline, or do you need to do anything like this? This game, it has heavy implications for the futures of these two different teams, because Washington expected to be better than what they are right now.
Yeah,
100%. And that's what James was saying. Like, they expected to be better than what they are right now. Dallas feels like, to your point earlier, Nicole, Dallas feels like they've let some of these games slip through their fingers. Dang, I guess we both got the same story. The Bears, we should have beat the Bears. That's both of us.
We should have beat the Bears.
Both teams, like, we should have beat the Bears.
But you talked about Witt over there being under fire, and somebody had mentioned it. Like, if you look at metrically where they sit with some of their stats, baby, we would trade with them in a heartbeat.
That part. Very much so.
In a heartbeat.
So
that's, to your point of expectations, that's how high they are over there, because this is a team that expected to make a deep playoff run because they were able to exceed the expectation with the rookie quarterback. Now there's a lot of, with this second year,
tape, understanding, you got to pay guys and all those different things. But, yeah, it's crazy because they are opposite in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You're talking about, like, they are opposite in a lot of ways. Like, Dallas, your pass offense is thriving. Their secondary is struggling. Their run defense is pretty good. your run offense is pretty effective as well. Like at some point in time, something's gonna have to cancel out. That's just where we are. The Commanders' offense is 29th on third down. The Dallas defense is 32nd.
Yeah.
On third down. So I'm just looking at it as magnets. Like something is going to have to cancel out. I think it comes down to the turnovers and then also starting field position, I believe, special teams. That's the element we don't talk about enough.
Yeah.
I think special teams is going to be huge in this game as well. And where these guys end up starting and ending.
But they've proven that they can still drive downfield. It's just about finishing in the red zone for the Cowboys for the most part. But we're going to take our second break here on Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. Up next, we've got Bring in the Receipts. All right, we're going to take that first. Wow, I can't even talk. I got excited.
She got too excited.
It's okay.
My bad.
I appreciate your excitement.
It's fine. We're going to take our second break here on Girls Talk, Boys Talk, and be right back.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
How does the cheerleader's hair always look so perfect? We asked, and they shared one of their biggest beauty secrets. If you want hair like theirs and confidence to match, use Babyliss Pro styling tools. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders use Babyliss Pro curling irons to get those perfect game day curls. To get the hair you see on the cheerleaders, head to BabylissPro.com. Use the code Cowboys20 for 20% off Babyliss Pro tools, the official styling tools of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Get the discount while it lasts. Offer may be withdrawn at any time at advertiser's discretion.
The countdown to game day starts with Rally Days presented by SeatGeek. Get a behind-the-scenes look at AT&T Stadium. Meet the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and alumni, play games, win prizes, and more. Get your tickets for the next Rally Day on October 18th at AT&TStadium.com/rallydays.
Welcome back into Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. Nicole Hutchison, Brianna Aldridge, and Aisha Morrison. And it's time to bring the receipts.
Yeah. And the good ones too, like the CVS one is the long one.
That's a long one.
And it got coupons at the bottom.
They do. And I always
Is it that long?
You have to use it with in 4 days. It's crazy.
They just be wasting paper for
They
I ain't
do.
gonna
They're
hold you.
digital now. They always send me an email receipt, by the way. But you got to have the receipts, y'all. It's kind of like the screenshots. You don't know if you'll ever need to bring it up from October of 2019 of what happened.
2003.
We just got to start keeping the receipts.
That part.
In the locker room, they say a lot of good stuff. But outside the locker room yesterday to start the day, we heard from Brian Schottenheimer, of course. And this game, don't know if you heard, but it's the first 3:25 kickoff from home game from the season, which we know what that means if you're a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan, okay? Because it came up last year. But we just talked about last segment the Commanders' defense. Well, there's going to be another defensive opponent out there in the end zone when the sun is shining through AT&T Stadium windows. Yes, it was an issue. Yes, it was talked about. So, of course, it was asked about yesterday to coach.
You know, I've been here for a little while, and I've heard about it. Hey, look, we really do. I mean, if you guys could see the process and plan that we have in place to figure it out. I mean, we have satellite imaging, we have pictures of the sun when it's coming down, and so there's a big plan and a process. But I think when you look historically at what's happened, it really hasn't affected, many situations, and we plan for it. The opponents plan for it, but at the end of the day, it's something that we're aware of, and it's very beautiful. It's majestic almost when the sun comes through there. So
it's beautiful, and I can't wait for Aisha to dive into this in a few seconds. But I got to go to my next topic because this is something we've talked about for the last couple days, and your mom kind of brought this up to us too, okay? George Pickens, he was the highlight of the talk yesterday, how much fun he's having. He actually said his hurdle too, y'all. He said that was in the mid-range of all the things he's done. And we were all laughing because we thought it was fantastic. He's like, I've done better. I could do better. So stay tuned on that. But we've been talking about how they're going to pay this man. He's playing elite football. And as he keeps growing in this league and this offense, he's probably going to be a top-paid receiver coming into the next season. So the big question was, does he want to stay here? Is the contract on his mind?
Jerry said you've been better than expected. Would you be open to staying here long term?
I wouldn't mind it. Like I said, the guys in the locker room super cool. The energy's great. But like I said, I always, want to showcase my talents, most definitely. I really say all that because I'm definitely in the middle of the season, so I'm not fully thinking about it. I kind of just want to keep going and see how far we can get in the season as far as playoffs and stuff like that. But definitely, keep on improving.
Those are my receipts for y'all to start with.
I love that.
They have me something to think about, especially when somebody says they wouldn't mind staying here. I need a little more. But that's okay. We'll get to that.
It's fine. He's very humble.
Very much so. I love hearing from him.
Dude. But, George Pickens, actually, this is a cool stat. One of 5 players in the last 30 years with 500-plus receiving yards and 6-plus receiving touchdowns in his first 6 games. With a new team, he joins Randy Moss and Terrell Owens and Amari Cooper with that accomplishment. But just talking about GP, I was chatting with CeeDee and I was like, bro, how is Shotty gonna balance out distribute the ball?
I'm glad you asked. Did you look stressed like this when
bro,
you asked
literally, I was just like, bro, what's gonna happen? He was like, dog, I don't know, because what he's been able to showcase is basically what I've been able to do, my entire career, luckily here in Dallas. And so he just gave high praise to GP. He was like, bruh, I don't even care. What I love about CeeDee is that he's not selfish. Of course he wants to help his team win, right? But he's not selfish when it comes to wanting to always be the guy to make the play. And him and GP have become so close to where he's like, dog, get it how you live. So I'm sure he said he's sure that Shotty has a plan for how they're going to be able to evenly distribute the ball. But it don't really matter because we going to both make you pay. So
and that's big.
Yeah.
You don't always get that with we've seen other teams. We don't have to call anybody out in our division here that's been struggling, right, with personalities and things like that. And to your point about CeeDee, they just want to win. Well, when you're talking about this contract, part of his answer to a separate question, but still the same topic, what are you most interested? What is GP looking for a team for that long term? Because you're getting paid wherever you go. Is it winning? Is it the money? Is it the environment and who you're around? And he says straight up, it's the winning. So
I believe it.
I mean,
of course the money is probably
I'm not coming back for chump change, but it's the winning. So
him saying I wouldn't mind it made sense to me. I mean, I know a lot of people are like, you wouldn't mind it. The people wanted something more definite, but he also followed up and said, I'm in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
I'm not, and I know guys say they're not really thinking about it and stuff like that, but I know that it might be in the back of his mind, but this is, he clearly cares about winning games. He's been, in other places where they weren't consistently, they were winning, I guess, but he really wants to get into the playoffs, make noise. He wants to contribute, so I understand his sentiment. Now, Shotty, not you saying that it ain't affect the game.
Please. I just remember remember that meme that was like everywhere. It was like a picture taken that turned into a meme. Was it in CeeDee's eyes? I think it was messed up CeeDee.
There are players from your team that have talked about it. There are players from other teams that have talked about having to prepare for it. I'm all for trying to have an advantage if indeed it is shining in the direction of, the side that the other opposing team's coming from or whatever the case may be. However, when it's affecting your offense's efficiency, which I've seen in my lifetime multiple times, and it's something that can be controlled, that's the most frustrating part about it because I remember, I think it was a San Fran game, it really did make a difference in that game. And you had players come out and be like, I couldn't see. I'm like, oh, Nugget. Like, I couldn't see. And so, I know Shotty understands. It was a lot of sarcasm and
yeah.
He's being a little facetious. Like I know he knows it really affects the players. So
I wish I had that.
It's crazy. Nobody else has to deal with that around the league except for because how this stadium is.
And there's there's truly no real reasoning for it at this point.
I wish I had,
especially since they have curtains.
Aesthetics.
I wish I could make this bigger, but it was a meme of Aisha.
Wait, what?
You had a
like?
meme?
I did.
With the
no.
It's fine because that would be like the perfect.
I want to see.
This one.
You've seen it before. I look crazy.
It's okay. Well,
it
maybe use it one day.
Makes it lighthearted in the room.
Y'all jumping me?
I want to know. At least you have a meme. I want a meme.
Right? It's a fact.
See? Oh my God.
I would like for him to be. I would like for Pickens to be here. I think regardless of what Dallas does on the defensive side of the ball, you have a lot of your offensive guys returning.
Mm-hmm.
I would not.
Don't mess up this offense.
Yeah, just keep it how it is. And because you're still going to need to, even if the defense gets better next year or whatever you decide to be, it's going to be an acclimation period. Mm-hmm. Score all the points until they can come on with it.
That part.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully they come on with it on Sunday. 3:25 kickoff against the Washington Commanders. We're going to be breaking down some more film tomorrow on Friday. And
we got Christy, right?
Bullseye our bus. Yes, Christy
Bullseye?
Scales.
Oh, yeah, she going to come with it.
Joins the show with her own segment as well. It'll be our Friday segment for Christy. But that's a wrap for today's show. For Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison, I'm Nicole Hutchison. We'll see y'all back here tomorrow at 8 a.m.
Peace. This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?